Attraction isn't about flashy looks, expensive cars, or smooth pickup lines. It's about something far deeper. Most men believe that winning a woman's desire means constantly proving themselves, but that's a losing game. The truth is, women aren't drawn to the men who try the hardest. They're drawn to those who need them the least. Imagine walking into a room with quiet confidence, completely at ease, while others scramble for attention. That effortless presence commands respect and desire without a single word. By the end of this, you'll understand why Stoicism is the ultimate game changer in attraction. You'll learn the mindset shift that separates magnetic men from those who struggle. More importantly, you'll discover how to harness this power for yourself. When you truly embrace this, you'll stop worrying about whether you're saying the right thing or making the right move. Instead, you'll naturally project the kind of energy that draws people in without effort. Women aren't just looking for looks or charm, they're seeking something deeper, emotional strength and unwavering confidence. The men who understand this principle will always have an edge over those who rely solely on external validation. Most men unknowingly sabotage their own attraction by chasing, overanalyzing, and trying too hard. They flood her with texts, seek constant validation, and react emotionally to every little shift in her behavior. This desperate energy signals weakness, insecurity, and a lack of self-control, qualities that kill attraction instantly. Women don't respect men who put them on a pedestal or make them the center of their world. They respect men who stand firm in their own value, regardless of outside validation. Think about it. Have you ever noticed how women seem to want the men who aren't chasing them? That's not a coincidence. It's a psychological truth. The more you seek approval, the less attractive you become. The key is learning to cultivate an unshakable inner strength. Women instinctively want to be with a man who is certain of himself, not one who constantly needs reassurance. A man who is unsure of his worth will always struggle in relationships, constantly second-guessing himself and over-analyzing her every move. The irony is, the less you care about impressing her, the more impressed she will be by you. True attraction isn't about trying to win her over. It's about embodying the qualities she naturally respects. Attraction is not something you force. It's something you allow to happen by becoming the kind of man who naturally draws people in. Women are highly intuitive when it comes to sensing desperation versus genuine confidence. The moment she feels you're trying too hard to impress her, she instinctively loses respect because it signals that you don't truly believe in your own value. On the other hand, when a man operates from a place of abundance, where he knows he has options and he doesn't hinge his self-worth on one woman's approval, his energy shifts completely. He becomes relaxed, playful, and unbothered by outcomes, which paradoxically makes him more desirable. Have you ever noticed that the men who have plenty of options are the ones women seem to want the most? That's because confidence and scarcity go hand in hand. If a man communicates through his actions and mindset that he doesn't desperately need her, she will naturally become more intrigued by him. It's not about playing games. It's about truly being content with yourself and knowing that your life is fulfilling with or without her. When you stop over-investing emotionally and let things unfold naturally, attraction builds effortlessly. The paradox of attraction is that the moment you stop chasing is the moment you become the prize. Women are drawn to men who hold their ground, who can walk away if necessary, and who have enough self-respect to not tolerate disrespect or disinterest. When a man gives his power away by constantly over-texting, apologizing for things that don't require an apology, or trying to fix any sign of her pulling away, he signals that he is operating from fear rather than strength. And fear is never attractive. The strongest men, the ones who naturally command desire, are the ones who are willing to lose a woman rather than compromise their dignity. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means knowing your worth and refusing to settle for anything less than mutual respect and interest. Women respect men who have the courage to walk away when they aren't being valued, and ironically, that very strength makes them want to stay. The goal is to be a man whose presence is a privilege, not a pursuit. When you truly understand this dynamic, you stop worrying about what to say or do to impress her. You simply exist in a way that makes her want to be around you. At the core of this strength is Stoicism, the ancient philosophy of mastering emotions and maintaining control over one's mind. A Stoic man doesn't react impulsively to drama, rejection, or emotional tests. He remains calm, collected, and unfazed. He understands that attraction isn't about constantly proving his worth, it's about embodying it. When a man stops looking for external validation and instead focuses on his own growth, mission, and peace of mind, he naturally commands respect. This shift makes him stand out in a world full of insecure men who base their self-worth on women's attention. A man who can regulate his emotions, stay composed under pressure, and move with purpose becomes magnetic. Women feel safe with him, intrigued by him, and ultimately drawn to him. He doesn't need to brag or seek approval. His actions and presence speak for themselves. Think about the men who naturally attract attention. They move with quiet certainty, never desperate for validation. They don't let emotions dictate their actions. Instead, they dictate their emotions. When you reach this level of emotional mastery, you'll find that not just women, but people in general gravitate towards you. The true power of a Stoic man lies in his ability to remain grounded in any situation, no matter how chaotic or uncertain. While most people are easily swayed by emotions, distractions, or external pressure, the Stoic man stands firm in his values and principles. He doesn't allow temporary setbacks, disappointments, or other people's opinions to dictate his self-worth. Instead, he acknowledges his emotions, processes them internally, and then responds with logic and wisdom rather than impulse. This level of control makes him a pillar of strength, someone others look up to and rely on. Women, in particular, are drawn to this stability because it signals dependability, leadership, and emotional intelligence, traits that are inherently attractive. A man who can navigate life's ups and downs without losing his center is rare, and that rarity makes him valuable. When a woman sees that she cannot easily manipulate his emotions, she begins to respect and admire him on a deeper level. This is what separates those who struggle in relationships from those who thrive: emotional self-mastery. Furthermore, the Stoic man understands that his sense of fulfillment comes from within, not from external sources like validation, relationships, or material success. He finds peace in his solitude, purpose in his mission, and strength in his self-discipline. Because he does not depend on others for happiness, he naturally becomes more attractive to women who can sense his self-sufficiency. This is why the strongest relationships are not built on neediness, but on two complete individuals coming together from a place of mutual respect and admiration. A Stoic man does not beg for love or attention. He allows others to come to him on their own terms, knowing that his value does not diminish based on someone else's approval. This mindset shift alone can revolutionize how you interact with women and people in general. When you stop seeking happiness from the outside world and start cultivating it within yourself, you become a beacon of strength. And in a world full of uncertainty, that kind of presence is impossible to ignore. There's actual science behind why this works. Studies in evolutionary psychology suggest that women instinctively test a man's emotional stability, whether consciously or subconsciously. If a man reacts emotionally, gets jealous, or becomes needy, he fails the test. It signals that he lacks the ability to lead, protect, or handle life's challenges. On the other hand, When a man remains unbothered and self-assured, he triggers a deep biological attraction. Women respect men who can weather the storm without losing their cool. This is why the bad boy or mysterious man archetype often seems irresistible. He's emotionally controlled and unpredictable, not swayed by every whim. The lesson here is simple. Control your emotions and you control the dynamic. The moment. You become reactive, you give away your power, not just in relationships, but in life. People, not just women, instinctively test others to gauge their strength and stability. When you demonstrate that nothing can shake you, you send a powerful message. You are a man in control of himself. This level of composure makes you stand out in a world where most people are easily thrown off balance by minor setbacks. This concept ties into a psychological principle known as pre-selection, the idea that women are naturally drawn to men who exhibit traits of high status and emotional resilience. In primitive times, a man's ability to remain calm under pressure was directly linked to survival. A panicked leader could jeopardize an entire tribe. Fast forward to today, and this instinct still operates on a subconscious level. Women are wired to be attracted to men who exude composure, even in chaotic situations. That's why the men who seem to have options or who don't overly invest too soon often create a stronger pull. Their behavior signals abundance, not desperation. When a woman sees that a man isn't easily rattled or emotionally needy, she instinctively perceives him as more desirable and worth pursuing. This is also why confidence and self-assurance are universally attractive. They communicate that a man has control over his own life and emotions. The more you demonstrate that you are emotionally self-sufficient, the more magnetically you will attract not just women, but success in every area of life. So how can you apply this to your life? First, stop over-texting and over-investing. Let her wonder about you. When you constantly check in, you lower your value and erase mystery. Second, master your emotions. If she pulls away, stay cool and composed instead of panicking. She's likely testing you to see if you'll crumble or hold your ground. Third, shift your focus away from her and onto your purpose. Women naturally respect men who are driven and passionate about something bigger than themselves. Fourth, embrace solitude and self-sufficiency. The more you enjoy your own company, the more attractive you become. Lastly, practice delayed gratification. Whether in relationships, career, or life, self-discipline breeds respect. These principles don't just apply to attraction, they apply to every area of your life. When you become the kind of man who doesn't need constant approval, you naturally stand out. People notice when you're comfortable in your own skin, when you move with confidence, and when you don't chase external validation. The result? Women, opportunities, and success start chasing you instead. Another critical aspect is learning to set boundaries and say no. Many men make the mistake of always being available, thinking it will make them more desirable. But the truth is, it does the opposite. A man who values his time and energy is selective about where he invests it, and that makes him more attractive. If a woman cancels plans last minute or treats you with disrespect, don't tolerate it. Respect yourself enough to walk away. When you establish strong boundaries, you communicate that you have standards and won't accept less than what you deserve. This applies to every relationship in your life. Friends, co-workers, and even family. People respect those who stand firm in their values. When you enforce your boundaries, you develop an aura of self-respect that naturally commands admiration. Women find themselves drawn to men who don't just talk about their standards, but actually live by them. Lastly, always be working on yourself, mentally, physically, and emotionally. The strongest form of attraction isn't about chasing women. It's about becoming the kind of man who is so focused on leveling up that he naturally attracts the right people into his life. Read more, work out consistently, develop skills, and strive to improve in all areas. Confidence isn't something you fake, it's something you build through action. Every time you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, you become stronger, more self-assured, and more magnetic. Women are drawn to men with a sense of purpose and direction, not those who are aimlessly seeking validation. When you shift your mindset from "how can I make her like me" to "how can I become the best version of myself," everything changes. You stop worrying about individual women and instead become a man who naturally draws the right ones into his life. And that is the ultimate power of Stoicism. The moment you stop seeking validation is the moment you start getting it effortlessly. Women are naturally drawn to men who move through life with quiet confidence, unshaken by fleeting emotions. When you develop a strong internal foundation, you stop reacting to the external world, and that in itself is powerful. This isn't about playing games or manipulation. It's about becoming the kind of man who commands respect without demanding it. True attraction isn't about tricks, it's about mindset. When you start thinking and behaving like a high-value man, the results speak for themselves. Women chase the men who don't chase them, not out of arrogance, but because they embody strength. The sooner you internalize this truth, the sooner you'll see a shift in the way women respond to you. Every moment you spend chasing is a moment you waste not building yourself into the man you were meant to be. The real secret to attraction is never about trying to impress. It's about becoming someone worth being impressed by. A man who radiates inner certainty doesn't need to seek approval because his validation comes from within. He isn't easily swayed by rejection, doesn't crumble under pressure, and never compromises his self-worth for the sake of someone else's attention. Women sense this, and it instantly separates him from the vast majority of men who base their confidence on external factors. When you operate from a place of abundance rather than scarcity, you naturally shift from a position of neediness to a position of power. You no longer fear losing someone because you know that your value remains intact regardless of who stays or who leaves. This mindset doesn't just change your dating life, it changes your entire approach to relationships, friendships, and business. People are drawn to those who project certainty and independence, and when you fully embrace this, the world starts treating you differently. The less you try to prove yourself, the more people assume you already have something valuable to offer. This is the paradox of attraction. The more you seek validation, the less you receive it. The less you seek it, the more it naturally comes to you. True confidence isn't loud. It's quiet, steady, and deeply rooted in self-belief. It's the way you walk into a room with an air of certainty, the way you hold eye contact without wavering, and the way you make decisions without second-guessing yourself. Women are highly intuitive. They can sense whether a man is truly secure or if he's simply putting on an act. The man who doesn't seek validation becomes the man others instinctively look up to, not because he demands attention, but because he carries himself with a presence that commands it. This kind of self-assurance isn't built overnight. It's developed through discipline, self-improvement, and a relentless commitment to your own growth. The man who prioritizes his purpose over temporary validation becomes a force to be reckoned with. And the moment you fully embrace this mindset, you won't just attract women. You'll attract respect, admiration, and opportunities that were previously out of reach. The key isn't to chase, impress, or convince. It's to become. If you're serious about transforming your mindset and leveling up in every aspect of life, it's time to take action. Becoming a Stoic man isn't just about attracting women. It's about becoming the best version of yourself. Start implementing these principles today, and you'll notice a shift not only in your relationships, but in your confidence, success, and overall fulfillment. If this message resonated with you, make sure to subscribe for more insights on mastering your mind, your emotions, and your life. The world respects men who stand firm. Be that man. The choice is yours. Stay stuck in old patterns or evolve into a version of yourself that commands respect naturally. The sooner you embrace this mindset, the sooner you'll see the difference. In every area of your life, take control now and watch as everything starts to align in your favor.